Evening, everyone, and welcome to TMA Sunday Night Live. We've got Darren back, brilliant. Someone turn that because I'm getting an echo, boys. You got it down? No, someone's thing. I'm getting an echo. Really. From someone. Right. Okay. No, it's from you, Moves. I don't know, mate. But anyway, this is the podcast where you choose the topics. We will discuss them, and we've got a few tasty topics coming up. Just as always, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Move Dino. Dino, who is a young man, and also Darren, the Canadian. All right, mate? Can you? No, I can't hear you. Can you, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm still getting an echo from your end, mate.
I don't know what the hell's happening there then.
Come in and out, mate.
Yep.
Not literally. Right, okay, yeah, there we go. Beauties of live podcast. Right, okay, just a massive shout out. Woody put this up about 3 days ago, and I'll read from Woody's thing. It's sad news and a heavy heart that lifelong fan Chris Ricks has passed away. So I didn't know him personally, but I know a lot of people did at Watford. So just massive condolences to Chris's family and friends. So that's lifelong Watford fan Chris Ricks, who sadly passed away apparently in the week. So rest in peace. And terribly sad. Anyone to lose, but especially as far as I know, he's quite a lot of people know him around Watford. So yeah, rest in peace, fella. And like I say, once again, condolences to the friends and family of Chris. Right, okay. So as always, we're in association with the Watford Football Club Former Players Club, fronted by Pricey and Watford's favourite son, Luther Blissett. Head on over to facebook.com /TaylorMade for Community. Let's get Moves back on. Moves, mate.
Hello.
That's it, perfect, mate. Yeah, perfect.
Hey.
Yeah. It's the bloody. It's probably StreamYard pissing around, mate. It's not obviously not you, right? Big shout out to the Yellow Brick Road boys. Hi guys, the Yellow Brick Road boys are here. Thanks for the invite. Power Jugs, Mr. Sir Dunk himself. So evening, lads. Rare appearance for me. Yeah, shocking, baby. He's back from 7-a-side. Good lad. Mr. Forbes said, I would not want to sign Dennis. What do you guys think? We will get on to that in our first topic, mate. I promise that, mate. So let's just switch the Turk around, and he's still going to get it. I'm so sorry. He knows he's going to keep getting this. Shocking penalty yesterday, mate. I've already singled you out for that, but right, okay, guys and girls, let's get straight onto it. Yeah, just big shout out. The Wi-Fi in Manchester must have been playing up, hence Moves' problems. Yeah, well, hopefully it should be able to sort itself out. Sadly, he's actually he's got a Manchester derby to look forward to, Moves. So come on, Moves.
Yeah.
I'll be coming with you, mate.
Come on, City.
Go on, City. Right.
City.
City. Well, especially after that bloody fast today, but hey ho. Right, okay. So Philip Crouch, cheers for the topic, Philip. He says, how many of the current squad are likely to be starters next season? Aguero, what do you reckon, mate?
I'm not Haaland this week. I'm honoured.
You're the Haaland, mate.
Yeah, exactly. You know that. How many? Firstly, good evening, everyone. Well, I'd say possibly 8 of them. I think there could be 8 of them. I think you probably look at the back line. Ryan Andrews would be one. I think Tom Delibashu will be another. Hoyt, I think, will still be there next season, along with Sierralta. So I'd say those 2. Who else could possibly be there? Kone, I think Kone will still be there, and I think he'll start. I think that's almost nailed on. Kayembe, if we can hang on to him, I think he'll be another one. Who else? I'm not really thinking much of the football kit. Oh, well, the legend that is King Ken Sema, our Christ and Lord and Saviour. I think he'll be back in next. Indeed, he'll be back next season for definite. I think Czech Tavadze, or Dave as we like to call him. I think he'll be another. But yeah, I think there's a few people looking. I think a few people need to look over their shoulders. I did. Porteous, it depends what goes on with Udinese. I would like him to stay because I think he's decent. But if Udinese come back again, I can see him going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some others need to look over their shoulders, especially in the striking department. Bayo has seriously got to look over his shoulder because I think he could be a casualty. Rajovic, well, he'll probably stay. He seems to have improved under Cleverley. As everyone probably saw it yesterday, how on earth has he been allowed to take free kicks with a right foot like that? I can't quite get over this. A 6'4", 6'6" striker is bending free kicks like that, causing the keeper problems. This boy's got more. He's got more surprises in his box than a fucking magician right now. I tell you. But yeah, I think some of the guys on the bench as well could possibly force their way in. But if I was going from the matchday squad, like some of the matchday squad yesterday, it'd be between 6 and 8 of them. But yeah, there's not many, and I didn't say Backman purely because I don't know what they're going to do with him at the end of the season. It's that is the toss up now. What are they going to do?
Darren?
Yeah, no, I can see exactly what Moobs is saying. For me, I think the majority of the squad will still be there if number one, if Tom gets the job, and I really hope he does. And I think, just purely me personally, I would like to see Backman stay. I'd really love to see Greaves starting to get a little bit, and I'm really hoping this weekend he gets on the bench and gets some game time. Mathematically we're safe. Got to start looking forward to the future, and I think it is a pretty bright future. I think most of them are going to be staying. Porteous is a really good point that Ian and Moobs just talked about there. I do feel a bit for Bayo. I mean, reading from what Cleverley's been saying about Rajovic, he's really working hard and he is improving. That's a sign of a good manager. I think it would be utter bloody madness for Tom not to be given. That's another topic, really. But for me, Power Jugs is right. Rajovic is an enigma. That's the perfect word to describe it. That really is a great description. I mean, it's strange, but got to give credit where it's due. Tom says he's on the training ground early and he stays late and he wants to improve. You want players like that around your club always. So I think I personally think Asprilla will go, which would be sad because he's been magnificent. But although at times I think his head was turned a couple of months back, but he seems to be back in the game now. But I think the money from that will inject a chance to look at one or two, But I think this is really now, we talked about it for a couple of years. We said that you end up with a few years in the Championship and rooting out all the dead wood, and we've gradually done that. And although at times the season up until Christmas was really, really pretty decent, and then things went off the bot. Now it's been, I think, a steady progress under Tom, and I think just with a few, we could have a decent score. But the likes of Greaves, and I would like to see Pollock getting more time. I think the lad's showing some real potential. He also looks better, I think, under our new temporary manager. So I don't know. What do you think, Dino? How about you, mate?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I think we're going to keep most of them. Like you said, unfortunately, I don't. It's all to do if we got money to buy players in, isn't it? I think it's going to really depend on selling Asprilla or not. Like I said, I love Asprilla. I'll still stick by it. I think he'll be a top player in a couple more years. He is getting there. He won't be with us, unfortunately, but it's all going to depend on him. I'd keep I think the back line's going to be our future. I agree with you, Darren, on Pollock, because I sort of can be judged against him, but then I saw him against Ipswich away, which was recently, and he was rock solid. So that was one game, and that shows what he can do. So I'd like to keep Porteous, you know, another young player. I don't really want him to go. I think we're going backwards again. You know, we're getting quite solid at the back again. You know, I know we're drawing games, but we have kept a few clean sheets. So, yeah, I think we need a bit more strength in midfield, don't we, really? Centre mid, definitely up top, like Moob said. I do feel for Bayo and Rajovic at times. Again, we don't feed them enough with crosses. We really don't. We did it against Hull again, you know, not putting enough crosses in. Sema, it was good to have Sema back. You know, he was just putting the ball in the box and putting good balls in. That's all we need to do. It weren't hard. It was simple. But, you know, we are going to keep most of it. I'd like to add to it. We badly need to add 3 or 4, maybe 5 players next season because this team ain't good enough to get promoted, and it'll be no different next season. It really won't. It's gonna get harder with the 3 teams coming down and other teams getting promoted. So it's going to get tougher this league. So we really do need to strengthen. But you know, we'll see. So yeah, unfortunately, I think we're going to keep most of them.
I personally think we just need to add quality to it. Move a couple out like Ince, a few, you know, 2 or 3, and then bring some quality in. To complement what we've already got. Obviously, a goal scorer. I mean, in terms of goal scorer, we need to unlock that sort of 20-goal scorer. You know, it's easy for me to say, but that's what we need to do. There've been plenty of games where if we had a, you know, a competent goal scorer, then we would have won those games. But I agree with the fact that Bayo and Rodney, as I call him, don't get enough service. They don't get the quality service as much as they should be doing. You know, I mean, if like someone like Rajovic was playing in the United team of '99, he'd probably score 30 goals because the balls are just whipped in every 5 seconds. You know, that guy, I'm not expecting Beckham-esque type assisting, but at least put a bit more ammunition in there. And then they are missing shots left, right, and centre. And there's a bit more of an argument that they're not doing their job. But I'll tell you what, Rajovic's work rate has come through tenfold in the last few games, to be fair. And yeah, Bachmann, to his credit, was absolutely amazing yesterday. I've been one of his biggest critics, and credit is given where credit is due, and he was absolutely awesome yesterday. Hands down man of the match for me. I think it's not hard. Like I say, even Stevie Wonder would have given him the man of the match. He was that obvious. Even John Cena up here that you can't see, you'll probably give it to him as well. But someone says actually sign moves in, and honestly, on his form, he is the Hemel Haaland, mate. Or the Hertfordshire Palmer. So, Hertfordshire, yeah, we've got to sign the Hertfordshire Palmer up here, mate. You've heard it here first, right? Okay, so Halsey said Porteous maybe. Power Jack says think Pollock will force more and more game time. Mr. Crouch is saying Bachmann, or do we need to bring another keeper in? Been outstanding since he's come back in. Yellow Brick Road Boy said, do we think Bayer will be here next season? Let's get a few more. Yeah, I would not sign Dennis, but what do you guys think? We'll quickly skip on that. Oh, a big shout out to Chris as well. He says, hi guys. Personally, I would sign Dennis. We've got to use him in the right way. But we need to, like I said, the signings we need to do, we need to bring out the ones we don't need and add quality. But yeah, there's 2 or 3 of those youth team players that definitely need to be starting to play now, because they will go. We've had loads of players, and Amas is the worst case in the last few years, where he's gone from strength to strength, just signed a professional contract with United, and they really, really rate that kid as well. And they reckon he'll be pushing Luke Shaw closely very, very soon, put that way. That's one of the examples. But just a shout out to our Lord Saviour, Richard Johnson. I think next Wednesday is at our place, and it's more about the youth team, and I know Jono's going to be there, so that should be really, really interesting. I know you can book your place up for that, and I promise you that'll be a good evening. That will be, if any of us can go there. Right. Here we go. So Dan said some of the youngsters may even push for a move. Not playing them now. The season is virtually over. It's disgraceful. Our Man City legend Moobsy seems to be knocking the goals at the moment. Mate, give him a go. Absolutely. Funk says I'd rather let go of Siri out and keep Pollock. Crouchy saying not worth playing Lewis in the last couple of games, as he won't be here next season. Joke saying need 4 first team additions prioritise one left back. The lad from Udinese is one, I believe. Is one centre midfielder, one left winger, one striker. Perhaps goalkeeper, two of Batchman is too inconsistent. With that strength in depth, with that depth is strong enough. And the Yellow Brick Road Boys said the only thing I get frustrated with Tom Cleverley is that he keeps playing Lewis. Why do you guys think this we have Morris and King Ken? Well, King Ken is obviously the better option to Lewis personally, especially the back three that he likes to play. He likes to play a wing back system. I think in Ngakia, he's never fit, but when he is fit, he's slightly better than Andrews. I do rate Andrews, but I think you need to. It come at the wrong time. In Ngakia, if he was fit, it would have been a better thing of taking Andrews out of the firing line and putting Ngakia in if he wasn't. Seems to have legs like cheese strings. That's the problem at the moment. He's getting injured all the time. But yeah, good. And Ngakia is a good player. It just never see him at the moment. But yeah, he's been given a new contract, much to the disbelief of some people on Twitter. But that's how it is, and we're looking long term with him. So yeah, we've got some good. We definitely need a left back. But yeah, boys, what do you, just quick on that? What do you boys think about that? Dennis, a stay or go, or and Dunk's addition prioritisments with left backs and stuff like that. Moobs, what do you reckon, mate?
Right now, I think that because I know I've been slating Dennis. I think everyone knew how much I was not keen on him. He's actually winning me over since ironically, since we changed management, and he's going more through the middle because he's coming alive and he's running at people more. Centre backs don't like him running at them. I just think I know yesterday was extremely frustrating. There was times where all he had to do was just lay the ball off and someone could have a whack at goal, and he decided to be an absolute dumbass with it all. But right now, I think he's on the verge of going into the stay section. We know for a fact that Nottingham Forest are going to have to sell players in the summer, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Pozzos just pull out some sort of cut price deal and bring him back. Dennis has always said he's loved the club, and he does seem to be showing aspects of that. So yeah, I think a few people might have to eat their words. I think, especially me, I think he will be here next season. I think he's going to come back permanently as well. In regards to some of the others, I can understand why people are saying, why is Lewis playing? But Lewis is technically on loan. What's going on? That can wait. That's right. It's the Watford women's section group chat. So I apologise that my phone's going off.
Cusacks here.
Yes, Lee. Yes. You have seen the light. Yes. That's what we want. That's what we want. I'll tell you what.
Livermore's got to stay.
I'm going to come away.
Yeah, I didn't mention Livermore, so because he has to stay.
Yeah, I'm just going to come away from the left back situation. I actually say Jake Livermore should, and we say that everyone, like in a team, you need experience, you need leaders. Well, he's got experience in abundance. He is a leader. I don't care what anyone else says, because you can't be the captain of West Brom for God knows how many years and not be good. And I think also when he was at Hull City as well. What am I drinking? Absolutely nothing tonight because I was out last night drinking instead, Lee. So unfortunately, mate, you need to get you need to pipe down. But no, at the end of the day, you need someone with an experienced head. You need a few experienced heads. Can't just have a team of youngsters. You need to mix it up. And I actually think I'd keep him for another year, even if it's just a squad player. Just keep him for another year. In regards to the left back situation, easy target. Yeah, calm it down. I can understand why Lewis is still playing because, Sema's literally returned yesterday from injury. You can't, No ifs, no buts about that. As for Morris, I don't really know what's going on with Morris. They're either concerned he's got an injury problem that's not clearing up, and they're saying, "Well, I'll tell you what, we'll put you on the bench. If Lewis pulls up, say with 20 minutes to go, you've got 20 minutes in your legs." So I can see that side of it. But yeah, I do believe right now we should actually be giving some of these youngsters a bit more of a game. Especially the likes of, I know we keep saying it, but Jack Greaves. Seriously, what's that boy got to do to have a start? And I actually think, I think he will go in the summer. I don't think he's going to stay, even if Tom Cleverley is named as manager. He will, he'll go. He'll just say, "I've had enough. I've sat around. You're still not giving me a chance, even when we're safe. I've had it. I'm gone. See you later." So.
Yeah, Darren, you're gone.
What was the question? What was the question? I can't remember the question.
What was the answer?
Yeah, I was going to say, what was the answer? What was the
long term with Dennis, especially Livermore, Savvy Livermore, mate?
Well, I don't know. It's tough. Livermore is getting on, and I agree with Moves that as in you need experienced players around the squad, definitely. But equally, we've got players like, Sir Al's been around a long time. I still think we've got some other good leaders, or experienced players, I should say, rather than, particular leaders. But it's a tough one. With Dennis, I don't know. Dennis, I'm similar. I wasn't that keen at the start, but I think we're seeing a genuine, real keenness for the guy to he's trying to do his best. And on his day, he's a very decent championship forward. Nobody can deny that. So I think we might get him. Because of the issues of Forest going on, I think we might be able to get him at a cut price deal. As it was, we got him with a huge agreement was it 70% wage? So I don't know. We'll see. That could come at the expense of somebody like. I think of the current forwards, Bayo is far more likely to be gone in the summer than Rajovic. I think Rajovic will be around for a while, so we'll see. But yeah, Livermore does seem. I don't know. I think he's enjoying his time at Watford, although he's not playing as much. So we'll see. I don't know. What does Dino think?
I'd keep Livermore 100%, and I'd 100% get rid of Dennis. I really don't rate him anymore. I think he's just doing enough because it's near the end of the season. He is greedy. I don't mind a greedy striker, but he misses way too many bloody opportunities where he should be hitting it first time. He has to take another touch or free touch. He don't want to pass it to his teammates. You can see Bio and him don't like each other. It comes off on the pitch. I don't know why. There's something there. I just don't like him. I can see why Forest didn't play him. He might have a couple of good games, but he ain't going to get us 20 goals. He's lucky to get us 10. I really do think he's lazy at times. He might have had a couple of good games, but that's just not good enough. And I'd really rather have a youngster come in from our youth team and start training him up. I really don't think Dennis is worth it anymore. Unless we can get him for a couple of million. That's all I'd pay for him, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't give him a big wage packet. He might be having a couple of good. Like I say, he just don't make his decision quickly enough. He's a striker. He should be in that. I think he missed a couple yesterday where he could hit first time. Wrong decision making. It just him. But no, I really, really wouldn't have Dennis anymore. I wouldn't bother wasting my time. Thank you very much. But you left us before, and you suddenly love the club again. Piss off. You've stayed here. No, go. You've done it. Thank you very much. We stayed up. Yeah, go back to Forest. But you're going to be on the bench.
Right, so you do want him to stay, Dino?
Yeah.
Right, in terms of that, I'll come back to you, Dino, and then I'll go around to the other lads as well. But Batchman, stay or go, mate?
Oh, God. Like you said, man of the match yesterday, without a shadow of a doubt, we had probably lost 2-1 or 3-2 because we should have scored a couple of goals yesterday. It's the same, Pidge. You say it all the time. You've never had a problem with his shot stopping. You've said it every season. You're right, but we've all said it. He don't. You've said it. Everyone said he don't command the box. He don't come out and catch him. I really can't answer it. If he stays, great. I'll back him, but I don't know. I'd say keep him, but I think we do need another keeper, really, don't we? But yeah, it's a tough question, really, and it's a bit tougher, that one. I'd like to keep him. He's been good with us, hasn't he? But I really don't know at the moment. I'm not sure.
Mr. Darren?
Yeah, no, I'd like to keep him. I've always been keen on Bachmann. He had a stint there where he was out of the team, and rightly so, to be fair. He hadn't been playing well. I think the one thing that I find kind of with goalkeepers is why they can't.
Yeah.
How do you not practice on your distribution, right? I don't get that. Don't get it at all. You know, you're on a training field 4 or 5 days a week. That's the one area. I mean, we know about the command in the box, but that's the other part of the game as well. I think he could improve, but he is a good shot stopper. I hope he stays. He's an Austrian international. We shouldn't forget that either. He's a decent keeper. So, yeah, I just think, like I say, some goalkeepers, they're distributed poor, and I think it's part of the modern game that just improve that, right? But yeah, I hope he stays. I really do. Yeah.
We just lost. What's going on? What's going on? Oh God, I'm right on the fence over this because originally I was more than happy to kick him out of the club, especially after his stupidity with the captaincy earlier on in the season, which cost him his place in the red cards as well, that he stupidly racked up. But yesterday he did have a very, very good game. There's no denying that. I think if he stays, I think we have to sign another keeper. But that keeper has got to be able to come in and push him to the absolute max in training every single day and go, I'll tell you what, mate, I've not come here to sit on the bench. I've come here to take your spot and make Bachmann realise, because we all know that he's got his moments. And there was a couple of moments yesterday, and I mean, Dino will probably agree with me, when his distribution Sunday went astray again. And it was just like, Bachmann, seriously, don't do this. You're having a good game. Don't go and wreck it on a stupid pass out. But yeah, it's one of, like I say, I think it's more of a case of, if he goes, he goes. Fair dues, and like what Dan said, totally spot on. He did save us for like 2 seasons in a row. But if he goes, and we thank him for what he's done. But if he stays, it's a case of, I think the club will have to sign another keeper who, like what I've just said, can really push him and get more out of him, and just get him working on stuff on the training ground as well. How hard can it be?
Exactly, mate. I'll read out a few comments as well. I hope you all voted for Loveless for player of the season and goal of the season. I did. Kusek says, amazing how Bachmann has a good game and now is the best thing since sliced bread. Philip Krause as well said, Dino.
Didn't have coach yesterday.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, so did I. I'd crumpets, actually. Yeah, I don't know what he's got against crumpets. He always has to be toast with trees. He's racist against crumpets. Keep Bachmann, says I. That's from Kev. Dan, this is the best one. Saved us 2 seasons in a row. Keep him, play him, and watch the Twitter virgins explode. That's from Dan. That's brilliant. Jesus. Can you imagine that would be actually anarchy? They give him another 2-year extension on his contract. Can you imagine that? The meltdowns would be hilarious. I don't like saying that word, but it is funny over there in old Twitterland. All the pro keepers make good saves. It's the other things that set good keepers apart from the rest. Absolutely, Lee. Great comment from Dan Brown. That's from Yellow Brick Road Boys. Ian Halsey saying Bachmann has got us a few points this season that has kept us up. Geordie, evening, Geordie. Great to have you on, mate. He says Batchers has been a scapegoat all season. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's nowhere near as bad as our fans think. Completely agree about Batchman. Needs some competition. George Jesus has said at Lee, he said, if you can't praise him for good saves, then you can't praise a striker for scoring. It's his job, but that's true all over the pitch. And muffins, not crumpets. Both are nice, mate. Everyone likes a bit of crumpet, though. To be fair, Cusack, don't they, mate?
Exactly.
I'll see you next Saturday, fella. Yeah, so like massive shout out to all of you for your comments. Absolutely awesome. You're all legends, every single one of you. Right, okay. Just before the segments, one from Dan himself. He says, if a boycott of the FA Cup happens, should we join in?
Whoa. Am I starting this one off?
Yeah, go on, Moobs. You start, mate. Sorry.
Right. Well, that's a cracking question. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of falling out over this. There's no ifs, no buts about it. It's already getting talked about by all pundits and everything across the land. It's got everyone talking. It's got everyone near enough on the same page. Should we boycott it? I don't know, because if you boycott it, would the FA come crashing down on you? And that's something that you've got to be wary of. Is the FA could seriously pull a sanction or two out on the club if they did decide to do it. I think if there was a massive collective group, i.e. the whole entire Football League and non-league, saying we'll boycott it, then you could probably say, well, I'll tell you what, then we'll join it, because the punishment would then probably be the same for everyone across the board. But I'm hoping the FA see some sense and actually get back around the table and sort this mess out. Because it is just, to be honest, it's damn right disrespectful. Complete and utter disrespectful. And the one thing I was actually talking, I think I was speaking to someone today about, or even yesterday, is basically if the big guns don't want to replay, don't want replays, then it's quite simple. You play your best team in the competition and get the job done, and then bring some of the other players on. If you don't want that replay, get it done in 90 minutes. That's mate. I think that's my phone that's causing the problems. Right, sorry, it is. I apologise. So, should we boycott it? I don't know. Might actually, if plenty of teams boycott it and we stay in it, we could actually win it.
Exactly. Even Man City with 115 financial violations won't get in the way this time either.
Exactly.
Yeah, mate. Darren, what do you reckon, mate? Hang on. Sorry, mate. That's my fault. Go on. Go for it, mate.
Yeah, no worries. My opinion on this is kind of a little bit different, and bear with me where I'm going with this. Premier League came along in 1991, 92, I think it was. And the only changes they made at the time was they created this big, ugly, bloody plastic-looking cup, and the referees were wearing green or yellow tops. That was all that changed, really, and they gave it a fancy name. Over the years, it's just like the dripping tap of democracy or lack of democracy in the country. The elite rule everything, right, with the money. What's happened, and if you remember a couple of years ago, those arseholes, the top six, all wanted to leave and form a European Super League, if you remember. And then when the fans turned around and literally said, fuck you, we're not doing this, they got scared and they had their tails between their legs. What's gradually happened with the Premier League and the elite Big Six over the years and the sheer disgusting money involved with it is they've chipped away at the FA Cup, which is our heritage and our history. And if you remember as kids, I know I'm older than you, but FA Cup final day was amazing when I was a kid. You had it on ITV or BBC. You got round the TV with your family and watch all the highlights of the rounds before. It was a really special day. And it was the end of the regular league season. It was the jewel in the crown of the Football League season. And the Premier League has just made a point of chipping away. Now the FA Cup final is played generally. This year I think might be a difference because of what happened last year. But normally every year now, the last few years, you've had the FA Cup final played before the end of the regular Premier League season because they want to make that their big thing. And it all comes down to nothing but utter greed. They're turning what is such a historic cup into a joke, and it's a tragedy. It's been going for over 100 years. It's got so much history to it. And you've got this elitist group trying to change the rules. And I think it's just disgusting. I really do. The FA Cup's magic. I remember Derby County and Arsenal going to a third round replay in the 70s, and Sheffield Wednesday and Arsenal going to a fifth, third or fourth round replay. I mean, I know there's a ton of football these days. That's a different topic. But it's such a shame because what's driving this whole thing is the sheer greed of the Premier League. And as you say, like right now, Man United today, yet again, corruption in the game. VAR, that was such a disgusting decision against Coventry. Money rules this thing, right? And for me now, you look at it and Man City and Man United through the qualifying early stages of the Cup, or early by their standards, like you say, are not putting out a full squad. But guess what? Come Cup final day, they'll all be wanting to play, all those superstars, right? Because it's a chance to be in the sunshine again. The game's losing its soul. The game is losing. If I lived in England, and I really mean this, I wouldn't have renewed my season ticket at Watford yet until I would have seen what would have happened with the appointment of Tom Cleverley. And if they hadn't have appointed Cleverley, I would have said, fuck you, Pozo, I'm going to go and do what Moobs does, start watching non-league football, where you get a fair pie and a pint and some decency. And yes, your crowds are small, right? But great atmosphere. I'm sick of the way this game's going. We're ripping the soul out of it. It is just disgusting. And, you know, over here in Canada, we get you may or may not know this, we get this network called Fubo, and it shows every Premier League game live, every one. So you can record them all and watch them in order or whatever, right? And at the end of it, you've got these pundit shows, and you've got, I don't know if they do it in England, but you've got Ian Wright and Kenny Dalglish's daughter. Yeah, you know, okay, so you know what I mean. It used to be a really good chat show. Now, all they talk about is City, Liverpool. It just gets boring. And then they turn around in the next breath and say, oh, well, that's the magic of the Premier League. Well, if the Premier League's that bloody magical, it's because the likes of Brentford or Fulham or West Ham, who never get a mention, sometimes will turn up and upset a team. But it's just this huge pig of a beast of the Premier League just killing the game for me. And I think it's so sad because FA Cup, even third round day was always made, like, or more importantly, the third round draw in the old days when they used to get the big old bag and pull out numbers. It was so nostalgic, right? You're sitting there listening, who are we going to get drawn against? And I mean, I'm talking from, you know, for me, the FA Cup, one of the most magical moments was not so much the Wolves result the other year, which was amazing, but it was when Barry Ending scored and beat Liverpool. Right? I remember getting off the train or going on the train from Carpenter's Park to Watford High Street. My mum was taking me, not taking me, she was dragging me shopping as she used to. And just outside Watford High Street station, there was a bloke selling rosettes, and I had that for years, and it just had what was then gold and black colours with the metal FA Cup on it, and I love that thing. You know, we didn't have a lot of money, so that was my thing to wear for something. But no, I know I'm going on a rant, but it just sickens me because the FA Cup is the oldest the oldest cup competition in the world, and there's these people, these greedy bastards, trying to kill it, and it's a tragedy, and they shouldn't be able to get away with it. And at the end of the day, if big clubs don't want to be involved, if it's that important for them with their mega squads, well then agree to play the game away as a one-off game so that the little club can get the money that they so desperately are craving for, rather than, you know, just pisses me off. I'm sorry.
No, we are listening in, mate.
I just hate the greed. I hate the bloody corporate greed. And, you know, there's going to be a bunch of people after today rubbing their hands at a Manchester final when Coventry were clearly robbed of a fourth goal. And what's so wrong about that, and I said this when VAR came out, all it will ever do is it will support the elite club even more. And I remember vividly when we were still in the Premier League and Delafeu, we were at Tottenham. Delafeu was clearly fouled. And the pundit over here said, "Oh, that's got to be a penalty. It's got to be a penalty." Went to VAR, no penalty. Later that game, that piece of shit that used to play for Tottenham, I can't think of his name now.
Ali.
Ali.
Right? Yeah. He kind of controlled the ball with his hand and scored. Went to VAR, goal was given. Right? It literally is like society: one rule for the rich and one rule for the poor, and people just don't see that, and it's a tragedy. Because I'm not a Coventry fan, but you imagine that you go to Wembley, you're 3-0 down, you come back to 3-3. What? Just having a fun beer. But it's just like, I think, you know, you've got to stand up for the underdog, right? And VAR, when a supposed offside is that close, in the interest of the love of the game, give the advantage to the attacking team for the goal, because we want to see goals. That's what we want to see. It's just common sense. It doesn't matter whether it's Man United or Colchester United. You give the advantage to the attacking team. So yeah, just a sad time in football right now. And you know, it's so hypocritical. They've penalised Forest. They've penalised Everton. And City, what the hell's going on at Man City? It's disgusting. Yeah, I'll shut up now and have a sip of the beer.
Dino, do you like getting penalised? No, but honestly, FA Cup, mate, because I know you've had a few opinions about this in the past, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, I met Moobs at the train station after the game. We were having a chat about it. We think the FA hopefully will see sense and don't do this, because it's absolutely ridiculous. The only thing I would scrap is extra time. I'd go straight to penalties if the players are really worried, because you would give the smaller team a chance. I would have a replay. Like Darren said, I was going to say, you know, these little clubs, you know, even like Hemel was saying, the Moves, if they get into another round of the ground, the money they can earn just from that one game could keep this club going for 2 to 3 years. It's amazing. And we want to get rid of that. You know, you've got so many clubs going now where they can't fund it. They depend on this FA Cup replay, and they do, you know, get a big club there, any club. And maybe a miracle, which some teams do get to the 5th round, and God knows what money they can earn then. It could keep them going for 10 years. It's, like Darren said, it's really, really sad, and I hope it don't happen. Like he said, it is so corrupt. I watched the Everton game earlier today, and to be honest, Everton should have had 3 penalties given against them, and not one was given, not bloody one. I can't blame Forest for bloody doing their nut, and they're probably going to get in trouble for that. Like Darren said, VAR is a joke now. I don't mind mistakes by the ref, it happens, but it is, like Darren said, so corrupt, and it's all about bloody money now. And like he said, City cannot get away with these 115 charges. There is no way they can get away with this. They've got to be below us in the League One or where Wrexham started, because if they get away with it, I don't know what I'm going to watch with football anymore. It's sort of giving up a bit on it, aren't you, now, of all this bloody stuff. Even, what was it, Sheffield United manager said it, didn't he, about the top 6? He said something about that, don't he? They get their way and the little clubs get, he didn't say screwed over, but that's what he meant, weren't it? And yeah, I'm afraid it's true, and it's always going to be true. It's always been like that, and I'm sad to say it always will be, won't it? You know, if that was, say, City or Liverpool today, where everyone got away with 3 of them, say it was City doing it against them, you know they're going to get at least 2 of them penalties, aren't they, given, because the refs and VAR are going to give it. So I don't know. Yeah, it's crap.
Yeah, I mean, I do. The Forest one, they were absolutely robbed of 3 penalties. But I said I posted and tagged Forest in it. I said, if you actually turned up throughout the season, you wouldn't be in this position to begin with. So I mean, they still don't deserve those 3 decisions not going to get for them, because they were blatant penalties, every single one of them. But I said, you know, you wouldn't be moaning if you were mid-table and you actually decided to play. So you wouldn't have, you still would have ranted, but it wouldn't have meant so much. So I'm not saying they deserved it, but you sort of think, come on, you know, it's like with us. We got robbed of like about 9 points when we were 2019 to 20 season. But if we were that good, we wouldn't have been in that position to begin with. So you're looking at it both ways, aren't you? But right, okay, we've got to shoot on, boys, because we're running out of time. Right, let's get on to this Moves news now. Damn it!
Oh, yes, people. Right. Hello. That time of the week again. And pretty much for the last time this season, there's gonna be a non-league roundup. Yes, that's right, people, because the non-league officially wrapped up yesterday. Um, Bad news if you follow Bournemouth or you like Bournemouth. They went down on the final day. They lost. It is madness. Now, I'll tell you what, we're all saying a few weeks ago how many points you need to stay up. Right, if you've not looked at the National League table, here is a shocker for you. Bournemouth have been relegated on 52 points. That's right, 52 points. York City above them had 53. They were 1 point off staying up. It is absolutely mental. That league is mental. But what does that mean? I hear you cry. Well, with them getting relegated, it means they're coming back to the National League South, which is where I'm just going to quickly drop into because an unbelievable thing has happened. Super Woking staying up, yes, somehow, yet again. Dear God, I hope Kenny wasn't in goal because that's probably why they lost Woody. But yeah, like I say, down into National League South. Now, I've not been in a good mood of late. I really haven't. When you follow Hemel and you follow Watford and things just go wrong, they go wrong spectacularly. But somehow, and I don't know how, and I don't think we'll ever work out how, but Hemel stayed up. Yes, they have stayed in National League South. It is an absolute miracle. Taunton had 2 games in hand during the week that they needed to play to get it out of the way. Unfortunately, they lost both those games, which meant Hemel stayed up by a whopping 4 points. That's right, 4 points because they got a 0-0 draw on the final day of the season. It is absolutely brilliant because now here's some mouth-watering games for you next season in National League South. You're going to have Hemel versus Bournemouth, Hemel versus St Albans, and Hemel versus Chesham. The Hertfordshire derbies are back next season, people. They're all going to be playing each other. It's going to be utter chaos in the National League South because I don't even know how they're going to keep up. But more on that when next season rolls around and all the fixtures are decided and everyone knows where they're going. Cheshire Scum, yes, yes, they are Cheshire Scum indeed, Pidge. I forgot about that. They are Cheshire Scum. So yeah, we look forward to that. It's going to be the first time in almost it'll be 10.5 years since we played them. So that is that's going to be a good one in the making. But yeah, as always, remember. So I'll get to the I'll come back to me little non-league bit in a minute. But as always, we also have the women's news, and this is where things just go from bad to worse. Because yes, the girls had to actually play yesterday and not today. Hence the reason why I'm on, because I probably wouldn't have been back in time. But yesterday, the girls made the trip up to Blackburn. This game was played at the Lancashire County FA ground, a bit like the one in Hertfordshire. This one's run by Lancashire FA instead. And if you thought things might have just got better, well, they didn't. They got even worse. Unfortunately, the girls slipped to, as I've been told, a narrow 1-0 defeat. But yet again, it is another defeat, and the season is really ending on a downbeat note. They've got one more game next weekend. On my birthday weekend. God, would it be nice to sign off with a win on my birthday weekend? That would be great. Will it happen? I don't know. But yes, the girls are at home next week, and they're at home at the Vic. Yes, we're at the Vic next Sunday. Sorry, Sunday. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. and they are taking on Reading. Now, if you want to come down for the last game of the season, come on down. Remember, kids go free still. The offer is still there. So every adult ticket you buy, kid goes free. If you buy a kid's ticket, you're only paying for the adult ticket. Remember, season ticket holders, as always, you will get a discount as well. It'd be great to see a fair few of you down there. Where's Major Tom? I ain't got a clue.
Wrong
He's probably on a
show.
rocket. He's on a rocket somewhere. But yeah, like I say, come down. Give the can I?
Hello.
Yeah, Aidan, you'll have to talk to Ross about that because I don't. I'm not keeping it. Ross is keeping hold of it.
He wants to
so
bang
message him.
something.
Yeah, trust me, mate. We've got actually just on the subject of that, on a bit of a lighter note with the women's side. I know we're a bit pushed for time, mate, so I will wrap this up quickly.
Yeah, go on, mate. No,
But we now officially, for Watford Women's Supporters Group, we have a drum. So we debuted it last weekend at home to Charlton. It went down very well. We didn't get into any trouble with the noise, with being too loud with it. So next Sunday, the drum will be making another appearance, and from next season onwards, it will be pretty much present at every game, home and away, hopefully. So yeah, that is, but yes, Aidan, please contact Ross and discuss it between yourselves. I'm not getting involved with that. I'm just there to watch the game. But yeah, like I say, and also just with non-league, remember, as always, non-league, everyone needs non-league. In light of what's happened with the FA and the FA Cup thing that we've just been talking about, if next season doesn't spur you on to go and watch non-league with what's going on with the FA Cup, then I don't know what will. But remember, guys, every time you go through a turnstile at a non-league stadium, you're helping that club stay afloat, and you're helping that club improve its facilities as well. So remember, if you get a weekend off where Watford ain't playing and you don't want to go, or you're not going to the game, pop down, watch, even in a midweek game as well, pop down and watch them. It's a brilliant time. Non-league is absolutely amazing. And that's that.
Yeah, I'll be there next week, mate. I've got the kids have got their away shirts now, so we'll be down there next week. So Taylor's first ever game. So it's obviously not named Taylor for no reason, mate. Put it that way. Non-league finals day 11th May the 11th, £30 a ticket, 2 matches at Wembley. Oh, fantastic, mate! That's a good value as well, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That honestly, that is another good day out. Doing that, I've never done it, but some other people I know did it the other year when we played. I think we were playing Chelsea on the final day. They actually went and saw their local non-league club at Wembley. Didn't stay for the second game, but legged it all the way across London and got to Stamford Bridge for kickoff. So yeah, it's a quality day out. It really is. It's a good laugh. So you just get to wind up fans that you don't ever see. So
absolutely. Yeah, just a massive shout out to Lou for Blissett, because everyone knows my connection with Blissett, but just a shout out to him because my mum messaged me to see if we can get Lufa to send a message to one of her friends' dads, who's a massive Lufa fan. Old boy at the one of the nursing homes. She's just basically to brighten up his day, and Lufa sent it last week, and oh my god, the guy was in tears. So that's the kind of impact. And Lufa doesn't say, and a lot of the players are the same, the ex-players are the same, from the Watford Football Club, Former Players Club. They don't like people knowing about these things they do, but fair play, Lufa. Thank you very much, mate, for doing that. I owe you everything, mate. Thank you ever so much. Right, okay, Darren, let's get on. Need to find out what you're drinking, mate. So you ready, fella?
Ready indeed. I'll keep it short and sweet. I've had this lager before. Here we go. It is called. It's a local cow beer, really good lager, well tasty. You can get it at the co-op. In Canada, you've got the co-op shop, and then separately you have the co-op liquor store, as they call it. So really good beer, triple boat. I'm not a golfer, I don't like golf, but it's a really good beer. So triple. If ever you're in Calgary, have yourself a can. Cheers, Pidge.
Darren likes it short and sweet, so look out for that. Yeah, I sometimes go to see Biggleswade Town. Well done, Peter. Halsey,
Well
nice
done,
to
Pete.
Aaron. Not the best of names though. Just shout out. We don't usually do this but we do support the other pods. Just shout out to the Yellow Brick Road boys. I was on their pod yesterday. Just shout out to Geordie Walks and Martin for letting me on there. So we just talk about the FA Cup and the games coming up. So yeah, just check them out on X, and they usually have a Twitter space around 8 o'clock at night as well. So yeah, because they let us on, and they are very honoured to be asked to come on. So thank you very much, guys. It was a really good chat as well. So thank you very much, guys and girls. We've got one more next week, and we'll do a season review next week. So message topics over, but obviously it'll be the season review. Sorry, mate. Go on. What's up?
You forgot we've got Middlesbrough on first weekend of May.
Oh yeah. After that one, no, it would be that one. We'll do a season review anyway next week, and then we'll look forward to the Borough game. So we'll do a season review next week and get all your topics through once again. But no, massive shout out to all of you. You're absolute legends, all of you. So same time next week, 8 p.m. Next season we should be back to the normal shows. So we'll give you more info on that. Sadly you have to put up with us for 3 times a week by the looks of it again, but we'll see. See you on Mixcloud, Ian. That's from Moobs. I thought shout that out, mate. He loves a good
that's what I was going to say.
Go on, shout it out, mate.
Yeah, no, get ready, guys and girls, because probably in a short space of time, Nigel Callaghan, Watford legend, of course, will be live on Mixcloud playing his Sunday session. So get over onto Mixcloud, find Callie, register, say hello. He loves it. He loves all the Watford fans coming on. It's a great little family. And also, I just want to say, come on Derby next weekend, get promoted, because the big reunion will be on. Simple as that.
Nice. Just it's at the bottom of the screen. Just get over. I'll post this link up right now, so you can watch it. But just get on over to mixcloud.com/live/Nigel Callaghan in about 2 minutes' time. So get on over to that. And he says we'll do Cinders 1, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'll probably
Cinders 2.
Yeah. Right, yeah. By the way, Cusack, Livermore is the modern day Derek Payne. That's all I can say, mate. Who subsequently played with Ramage. So obviously a great player in itself. There we go, mate. Yeah, the old shirt. Yeah. Go on, Rambo. Right, there are boys and girls. Thank you ever so much. You've been amazing as always. We've been beautiful. You've been we've been TMA. You've been beautiful. Good night from the Turkish wonder down there who had a crap penalty yesterday. Backman.
Good night from Darren.
Good night from where's my finger? There's my finger. Good night from Moo. Cheers, guys.
Good night from Pitch. I'll pull my finger down a bit, otherwise that was looking a bit dodgy.
Bye, everyone.